Hello, my name is Jared Ludlow, Publications Director at the BYU Religious Studies Center, your weekly resource for gospel scholarship. Today we'll talk about some possible resources that go along with the Come Follow Me reading for June 13th through 19th, 1 Samuel 8 through 10, 13, 15 through 18. The first article is called The Contribution of the JST to the Old Testament Historical Books. By Mont Nyman, a former religion professor here at BYU, and it's from a book on the Joseph Smith translation. And in this article, he just overviews some of the changes that the JST, or the Joseph Smith translation, makes in the 12, what we call the 12 historical books of the Old Testament. He notes that there are 94 verses that are changed in these books, mostly in 1 Kings, 2 Chronicles, and Nehemiah, with no changes in Ruth, Ezra, and Esther. But particularly, he looks at 4 topics that a lot of these changes fall under. The first topic is the true attributes or workings of the Lord. The second is the work and relationship of evil spirits and prophets. The third is the lives of David and Solomon, important early kings. And fourth, the correlation of contradictory texts, because within these historical books we have 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, and 1st and 2nd Chronicles, where there's overlap of some of the same stories and yet differences among them, and so the JST addresses some of those issues. For this particular week, he spends some time talking about 1 Samuel, and notes that there are 14 changes within 1 Samuel, and particularly a lot related to Saul. And so, for example, he notes how the JST changes the phrase, the Lord repented, to other variations to more accurately discuss the historical context. In chapter 16, there are 4 verses that are changed in the experience that Saul had with an evil spirit. And this emphasizes that God is not the source of this evil spirit. Later on in 1 Samuel, he talks about Saul's visit to the witch of Endor. And so these changes relate to some of the readings of this week. And certainly they help preview some of the forthcoming readings that we'll have in the other historical books. The second article is called Preparing Our Hearts. It's by Thomas Tyler, a church education system administrator for many years, and it comes from The Religious Educator. And this is in the format of an interview, and so he's asked various questions related to teaching, and he gives his advice and counsel based on his years of experience with the church education system. And so while it doesn't have anything specifically to do with 1 Samuel, it's a good overview of some things that teachers can think about in preparation for their teaching of gospel doctrine or Old Testament or other things. And some of the topics that he addresses in response to questions include selecting what to teach about, how to ask questions, the role of the Spirit, both in preparing and in teaching, the importance of pondering over the material, how we can learn as we observe others teaching, and particularly when we feel the Spirit, what prompted that from the teaching moment, and then the importance of testimony and bearing testimony in class, and what constitutes a testimony versus what isn't really a testimony. And I particularly like a statement that he made that teachers are Eliases or forerunners who prepare the way for the Spirit to teach their students. So the emphasis on the Spirit really being the teacher in our classrooms, but we can help prepare the way by how we prepare and how we present material.